India is well known around the world owing to its historical background, diverse cultures and interesting traditions. Its ancient scriptures and texts have been the way of life of its people for thousands of years. Today, the country is taking huge strides in various fields like arts and science, paving a way towards a progressive India. So friends, I'm your host Yeshi Chonsom, and today in our episode of My India, we will take a look at some of the stories that very well showcase the unique culture and prosperity of our country stretching from Himalayas to Kanyakumari. Being a highly spiritual country, India celebrates a number of festivals throughout the year. Many of these have their association with Hindu gods, goddesses and holy texts and are celebrated in different ways across various parts of the country. So today in our episode of My India, we will take you to India's Hyderabad city, where devotees gathered to celebrate the grand festival Sadulla Batukamma with great joy and enthusiasm amid the coronavirus pandemic. Have a look.
Devotees donned in traditional attire gathered in the southern city of Hyderabad to mark the 9 days long festival Batukamma, which recently came to a conclusion. Batukamma is a vibrant, colorful floral festival celebrated by women in Telangana every year with great gusto. It also celebrates the inherent relationship between earth, water and human beings. According to a popular myth, Batukamma means Mother Goddess come alive and is celebrated towards the end of monsoon and heralds the abundance that nature has to offer.
We celebrate Sadulla Batukamma for 9 days. During this COVID situation also we are able to safely do our festival. It is a Telangana greatest festival. We all girls, ladies, women and all together come together with a well-dressed attire, traditional attire, and it is under the OBC Adhyakshulu Lakshman Garu. So we are celebrating here in Baglingampalli since from 6 years. So we'll be having a mini tank bund here only. So we are very happy and we are very proud to celebrate this festival here. It was a huge crowd previous last 5 years. Only this situation is only few people are here, and we are having all sanitation facilities, and even with the police protection, and everybody are compulsory to wear the mask.
The festival begins a week before the Sadulla Batukamma, which is the grand finale of the festival and falls alongside the Shera. It is believed that women folk should go to their parental homes for celebrating the festival. As a part of the ritual, women, especially young girls, dress colorfully in the best of their attires and wear sparkling pieces of jewelry. They then place the Batukamma in the center of their courtyards and backyards and gather in large circles to perform traditional dances on festive hymns.
This is the only night for the ladies we get to play on the roads and all. So, but we are a little disappointed that no much crowd is there, and we are not much celebrating. We are celebrating, but it's not that good what we used to celebrate before. So we are sanitizing, we are taking precautions. So mostly mind is going on that.
Firstly, happy Batukamma to all. We celebrate 9 days. For COVID reason, we are celebrating 8 days at home, and 9th day we are celebrating here. We'll celebrate a lot and all.
festival is believed to be celebrated as a token of respect and thankfulness to goddess Parvati for her blessings for the abundant crop harvest. Such colorful festivals celebrated in India bring color to the otherwise monotonous life and manifest the dynamic culture of the country.
Every festival in India represents the sense of brotherhood and syncretism beholden among the diversified population of the country. It is quite common to see people of different religious communities coming together and celebrating different festivals as a gesture of mutual respect and cooperation for each other. Similar scenes were observed in Siliguri and Agartala cities, where Hindus and Muslims collectively organized and celebrated the revered festival. Take a look.
Land of myriad faiths and religious tolerance, India is home to a number of different religious, tribal and ethnic communities who have been peacefully residing in the nation for centuries. Known to be a secular nation in true sense, the country showcases a number of examples that exemplify the term communal harmony and prove that brotherhood knows no barriers. Recently, when the country was soaked in Navratra festivities amid the worldwide pandemic, several examples of religious unification and tolerance were witnessed in different states and union territories of the country.
समाज में हम सभी इंसान हैं, कोई हिंदू है, कोई मुस्लिम है, कोई सिख है, कोई ईसाई है, सभी को लेके चलना है, सभी के साथ में चलना है। हमारे यहाँ कोई तरह का कोई भी भेदभाव नहीं है। हम देश को ये मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि जिस तरह से हम लोग आज सभी वर्ग को लेके चल रहे हैं, ये एक एकता का संदेश हम लोग दे रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे भारतवर्ष में जितने भी हिंदू और मुसलमान या सिख या ईसाई जो भी हैं, हर एक पूजा को, हर एक चीज़ को भाईचारा के साथ मिला के चलें और लोगों में भेदभाव ना हो।
In Siliguri, city of West Bengal, a unique angle of Durga Puja was seen when Hindus and Muslims together organized and celebrated the pious festival. Organized by the Gauri Ichha Kali Mandir Durga Puja Committee of Matigara block area in the district, both Hindus and Muslims were seen joining their hands in obeisance and offering their prayers to goddess Durga. The members of the organization committee have been organizing Durga Puja and other festivals with great pomp and show for the last 47 years. However, this year, due to the worldwide pandemic, the puja was kept a low-key affair with less crowd and proper adherence to social distancing norms.
ये दुर्गा पूजा हम लोगों को मोटामोटी 47 साल का हो चुका है और इस बार तो हम लोग को लॉकडाउन कोरोना वायरस, इसके लिए हम लोग पूजा उतना ज़ोर शोर से कर नहीं पाए। इसके सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग है, ये सब मानते हुए हम लोग इस बार जो पूजा किए हैं, पूरा गांव में हम लोग का यही एक पूजा होता था। और जो हमारा जो आज यहाँ हम पूजा में जब आते थे तो हमारा जो दोस्त यार है, कभी ये लोग हम लोगों को जो ये नहीं समझा जाए ये लोग मुसलमान हैं, ये लोग का घर नहीं जाना चाहिए। तो हमारा घर में ईद हो, सबरात हो, मुहर्रम हो, हर टाइम ये लोग हमारा घर जाते हैं, हम लोग इंजॉय करते हैं। मुहर्रम, ईद, सबरात सब में इंजॉय करते हैं। हम आते हैं काली पूजा, दुर्गा पूजा, छठ पूजा, हर चीज़ में इंजॉय करते हैं।
Similar scenes were witnessed in the northeastern city Agartala, where Hindus and Muslims collectively celebrated the occasion. The This puja was also organized by a heterogeneous organizing committee that had members from different religious groups as a symbol of confederation and accord. Prayers were performed by a priest and devotees were seen sitting at a distance so as to follow all the precautionary norms due to the pandemic. Even in difficult times like that of the pandemic, citizens in Agartala made sure to offer help to each other in following traditions and following all rituals.
কুরবানি ঈদ এবং রমজান ঈদ ওই সময় নামাজ পড়ার মতো পরিস্থিতি ছিল না, কিন্তু আমরা ওই দিন এই এলাকা থেকে আমরা গর্জিয়ে উঠেছিলাম যে না, নামাজ হতে হবে, আমরা যে কোনো মূল্যে আমরা নামাজ করাবো এবং সরকারের সিদ্ধান্ত অনুসারে আমরা দূরত্ব বজায় রেখে আমাদের উপর সমস্ত দায়িত্বভার নিয়ে আমি তপন দত্ত সমস্ত দায়িত্বভার আমার মাথায় নিয়ে আমি ওই দিন এই মাঠের মধ্যে নামাজের পরিস্থিতি তৈরি করেছিলাম এবং নামাজ করিয়েছিলাম এবং শুধু রমজান ঈদও নয়, কোরবানি ঈদও আমরা করিয়েছিলাম। তদ্রূপ এভাবে যেরকম আমরা করি ঠিক এরকমভাবে আমাদের যারা এই এলাকাতে যারা মুসলমান ভাইরা আছেন, অভিভাবকরা আছেন, আমাদের পূজাতে যাতে শান্তি শৃঙ্খলা বজায় থাকে এবং পূজাটা যাতে সঠিকভাবে করা যায়।
It is this unity and amiability of the citizens of Siliguri and Agartala that these cities are setting examples of religious unification and diversification and are spreading the message of unity in diversity.
Now, a roundup of some of the major stories that made news recently. In a bid to increase green cover in the city along with keeping a check on air pollution, 14,500 saplings are being planted at Jageshwar Hospital in Kanpur city of Uttar Pradesh. The saplings are being planted on the empty land which is now being named as Oxygen Park. The park is open for general public from 2nd of October.
मेरी माता जी भी यहाँ आती हैं, मैंने ये चीज़ उनको भी दिखाई है, उनको भी बहुत चीज़ अच्छी लगी है और मैं इस पार्क में अपने दादा दादी अपने माता पिता के साथ मैं उनको रोज़ डेली टहलने के लिए लेके आऊँगा।
Trees absorb carbon dioxide and emit oxygen, which is helpful in environmental conservation. Plantation of more trees through steps like these ensures less polluted oxygen-rich air for breathing.
Indians celebrated the Hindu festival of Dussehra by burning effigy of mythological demon king Ravan while following COVID-19 norms.
जो कोविड के लिए हमारे को गाइडलाइन मिली हैं उनका हम पूरी तरीके से पालन कर रहे हैं, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का पालन कर रहे हैं। मंच के द्वारा एक संदेश देने की कोशिश की जा रही है पीपीई किट पहन के कुछ कलाकारों के द्वारा कि कोविड को अपने देश से और अपने समाज से और पूरे विश्व से हराना है।
Dussehra marks the triumph of good over evil. It is regarded as the day when Hindu god Prince Ram defeated Ravan, demon king of Lanka, and rescued his abducted wife Sita. As per the custom, the effigy of the demon king Ravan along with effigies of his brother Kumbhakaran and son Meghnath are vilified and burnt across the country. Dussehra also symbolizes the triumph of goddess Durga over the buffalo demon Mahishasur. The 9-day festival of Navratri culminates with Dussehra, which falls on the 10th day.
India will be the major driver of global energy demand in the years to come, but will hold down carbon emissions even as its power consumption soars, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The world's third biggest oil importer has implemented a series of reforms in recent years, including setting up a gas trading exchange and granting marketing freedom to producers to boost its local output.
We are well on track to meet the commitment we made to the global community. We had aimed to increase the renewable energy installed capacity by 175 gigawatt by 2022. We have further extended this goal to 450 gigawatt by 2030.
The South Asian nation, which depends on overseas purchases of about 80% of its oil needs, is seeking mechanism for responsible pricing of crude oil and greater transparency and flexibility in oil and gas markets to end volatility.
US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo met with Indian Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar on the first leg of a 5-day Asian trip aimed at strengthening strategic ties in the face of growing Chinese influence across the region. Pompeo and Defense Secretary Mark Esper flew into New Delhi for the talks with Indian leaders at a time when India is locked in its most serious military standoff with China at the disputed Himalayan border in decades. Esper met his Indian counterpart Rajnath Singh and discussed basic exchange and cooperation agreement on geospatial cooperation that is ready for signing, the Indian Defence Ministry said. Pompeo is due to travel Sri Lanka and the Maldives, two Indian Ocean countries where China has financed and built various infrastructures to the alarm of India and the United States.
Ingrained with rich values and various beliefs, India is known for its diverse culture and unique traditions in the whole world. It has always been the land of Sufi saints who have not only played key role in combining various religions but have also emphasized on inward search for God and inherent generosity in humans. So today, we take you to Shrine of Sufi Saint Hazrat Salahuddin Shah in Kanpur city of Uttar Pradesh that has devotees coming from different religious and ethnic backgrounds. Take a look.
The shrine of Hazrat Sayyid Salahuddin Shah, or popularly known as Bade Sarkar, is one among the most revered pilgrimage sites. Situated in the Anwarganj area of Kanpur city of Uttar Pradesh, the pious site attracts a number of devotees from all over the city. Hundreds of devotees comprising men, women, elderly and children come here to offer special prayers at the shrine.
75 साल से तो उर्स मनाया जा रहा है, 100 साल से ऊपर की है दरगाह। बहुत दूर दूर के आते हैं, सबको फ़ायदा होता है, सबकी हाज़रियाँ चलती हैं, ऊपरी चक्कर कराया, धराया, खिलाया, पिलाया, शैतानी चक्कर, जो कुछ भी होता है यहाँ से हट जाता है, सब ठीक हो जाता है, सब बिल्कुल अच्छा, सबको फ़ायदा है। सारे धर्म के लोग हैं, देख लीजिए, हिंदू मुसलमान सब भाई यहाँ बैठते हैं, आते हैं, सबको फ़ायदा होता है।
Situated near Anwarganj railway station, the Sufi saint believed in disseminating secularism and humanistic values. Paying respect to this holy saint, the Dargah observes Urs annually when people from different religious communities throng the Dargah to seek his blessings. The shrine has become a symbol of religious tolerance by drawing people from different faiths who leave aside their differences and pray for peace and harmony.
दुख मुसीबत के मारे अल्लाह वाला शैतानी मामलात में वो सब इसलिए आते हैं, हर धर्म के लोग आते हैं, हिंदू मुसलमान सिंधी पंजाबी भी आते हैं, हम स्वयं एक हिंदू हैं, समझे भैया, हर प्रकार के लोग आते हैं, यहाँ हर प्रकार की मुसीबत हल होती है।
The message of peace and brotherhood come out loud from the dargahs of Sufi saints. Visited by the people irrespective of their religion, they have been acting as symbols of communal harmony for ages.
Be it dance, sports, music and academics, youngsters in India have shown their mettle in almost every field. These young minds have even managed to grab limelight for their efforts towards giving a new lease of life to the dying art forms. The latest one to join this list is a young girl from Pulwama district who has already won hearts with her fascinating calligraphy artworks.
The drawing pens of calligraphy are all set for a fresh start with the young Kashmiri girl Rani Misakun Nabi breathing new life into this centuries-old art. Hailing from the Tral town of Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama district, the 21-year-old Nabi is a self-taught calligrapher. She began practicing this art at a very young age, watching her talented father, who apart from being a teacher, was an excellent calligrapher and a paper mache artist as well. Nabi says that after the death of her father, she started to explore his works more, and this is when she felt an urge to stand up to his legacy.
मेरे फादर जो हैं वो खुद एक कैलीग्राफी करते थे, पेपर मैशी करते थे, तो उस वजह से जो है मुझे उनकी वर्क बहुत अच्छी लगी और मैंने सोचा मैं क्यों ना उनका काम आगे बढ़ाऊं और मैंने भी कैलीग्राफी स्टार्ट की.
Apart from doing calligraphy, painting and crafting, Misakun Nabi is also pursuing bachelor's in Unani medicine and surgery. She has maintained her timetable in such a way that she is able to pay equal attention to both of them. Slowly, when her artwork started hogging limelight, she started receiving orders, with many people requesting her to make customized artworks for them.
आजकल की जनरेशन जो है इसमें इंटरेस्ट दिखा रही है, तो इस वजह से जो पुराना आर्ट है वो हमारा आज भी चला जा रहा है. तो और हर एक इंसान जो है हैंडमेड में ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट दिखा रहा है और इसी वजह से मुझे लग रहा है ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि अगर हर कोई हैंडमेड में इंटरेस्ट दिखाएगा तो हमारा जो ये है पुराना आर्ट ये आगे जा सकता है बहुत. मैंने कैलीग्राफी में बहुत कुछ किया है. मुझे लॉकडाउन के दिनों ही बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम मिला क्योंकि यहाँ से मैं मेडिकल स्ट्रीम में हूँ, तो टाइम मैनेज करना पड़ रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा.
Thankful to her family, Nabi says that she wouldn't have been able to achieve this much if they hadn't supported her. She even urged the Kashmiri girls to come forward and showcase their skills to the world, and even asked their parents to act as their backbone.
हमने भी जब देखा तो काफ़ी अच्छा लगा इनकी ड्राइंग्स देख के, इनकी कैलीग्राफी देख के. फिर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह फैमिली का अच्छा सपोर्ट रहा, लोगों का भी अच्छा सपोर्ट रहा, काफ़ी ज़्यादा ऑर्डर्स मिल रहे हैं इनको, तो इनको खुशी मिलती है तो हमें भी खुशी मिलती है कि कुछ लाइफ में कुछ कर रही है.
The way Nabi is honing her calligraphic skills along with pursuing her academics is truly inspirational. She has never shied away in pushing her artistic boundaries and performing more challenging tasks like practicing calligraphy on paper mache, which doesn't even have regular surface or curvature.
That's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback at myindia@anin.com. I'm your host Yeshi Chonzom, and it's goodbye from the entire production team.